What's up, guys? It is November 13th. Currently it's 8:36 p.m. so it's later in the evening. Had a busy day today, so I didn't get to make my recap earlier, but so I'm going to go over two things. One is I only made one trade today, NSYS, so I'm going to go over the trade that I made today. And two, I had to reset my account because yesterday trade that I got into before market closed, I set a sell order, good to cancel, extended hours and everything to be executed if it reached a certain price. It reached the price, went well above enough shares, and it never got filled. And I've had trouble pre-market, buying and selling before with the simulator. Tried to do it and it didn't work for some reason. I don't know why. Yesterday I just decided to try to swing 100 shares, and that was it, just 100 shares, so not a lot, but it didn't get filled. So I did research, and apparently there are no after hours or pre-market trading in the simulator at all. Like, the executions just don't get filled. So I just did the math. It should have been filled. We'll go over that at the end of this video, but since it didn't get filled, I reset the account, and I'll show you the reason why I did that as well. Because the stock, if I had swung just the 100 shares and didn't have an order set to be executed, I would have lost $1,600 on 100 shares. So we'll go over that in a minute. But right now we'll just go over the trade that I made on NSYS. We were watching it in pre-market because it was gapping up. So and it's a low float. And I think the only news they had was earnings, so not like crazy. So we were watching it gapping up. I did not want to try to get in this initial pop, just because I wanted to see it break like 750 in the first 2 or 3 minutes. I wanted to see strength, but never really got that. So it come back down, it popped back up, got close to 750, still didn't break, and then flushed down. Now I already had this line drawn here, and that's what I was looking for here. If it didn't run up to 750, I was looking for it to break down and pick up shares here on the dip buy. But since it held a little here and consolidated and then flushed down, I was a little nervous when it came down this time, so I didn't touch it. Then it consolidated over, went up a little bit, consolidated, and then flushed down. And I bought shares here because, this was the original line that I had drawn. But then when it came down to here, I noticed it stopped here at the same spot this one did, because sometimes it'll break through the resistance just a little and then come back up, or the support. So sometimes it'll break through support just a little and then come back up and consolidate. And here it held up as support too. So when it broke through here and then came back up, I decided to go ahead and buy 1,000 shares. So that was like just over $5,000, like $5,160. So not a huge position size. And then, as you can see on this chart, I sold 200 at this first run up here, and I was looking for it to break through the channel, but I was also wanting to take profits just in case it didn't. So I took 200 off here. It consolidated, came back down, I held, come back up here, took off another 200, and then took off 100 here on its way back down, just to lock in extra profits. So this was half of the position, so I'm still only holding 500 shares. And it consolidates, and this is probably one of the longest trades I've had in a while, especially to only make $471. Come up here, I could have taken some, but I didn't. Took off some here at 552 just to kind of get rid of some of that position, because I didn't know. It was kind of looking like it was going a little weaker here. And then, it come back up. Sold 100 here, then 100 here. Okay, and I still had 200. So yeah, 597 was my best sell, even though it did come up to like 620. I held that for some reason. And then I decided to get out the rest here. Now on Instagram I said I got out 3 minutes before the drop. It was actually like 10 minutes. So, I mean, I sold the last 200 at 240. The drop came at 251, so 11 minutes. It felt like 3 minutes, but so I went ahead and just market ordered out the last of my position, locked in 471, and then it fell. So, and then, I mean, it fell hard, fell through both of the support lines I had, came back up, old support became new resistance, and it flushed down, and that was the end of that trade. So we'll go over and look at monitor. Now when you reset your account on this platform, it shows all these old trades. So I didn't trade any of these. NSYS is the only trade I made today. $471. You can see I reset it, so it says $471 here. So all this is just garbage. So that minus 1200 is just a bunch of old trades. I don't know why it does this. It's weird. Like AAXN, I don't know when I traded that. Oh, well, it might have been a couple days ago because it's a $64 stock. But either way, AMD, that was the accidental trade I made like a week ago. So, anyways, 471 on the day on one trade. And let's see. What was the stock? It was like APDN. Okay, so APDN. We'll go over this. I'm going to turn that show trades off because I hate that thing when I'm not showing my actual P&L and stuff. Like, I don't leave it on while I'm trading. I can't do it. So everyone knows that APDN did amazing yesterday. Ran from, previous day, $4.30 all the way up to $20. Well, it hit 20 in after hours. And this is what happened. So I was up $585. $585. I took a scalp here at the end of the day, made $70, and then right here on the last minute, I jumped in with 100 shares at $18.82. I think was the fill price, and then immediately after I got in, I went ahead and set an order, good to cancel, extended hours, sell 100 shares for $1 above. Boom, $19.92. Now, about 3 hours after the market closed, I opened my phone just to see where the stock was. I was like, ooh, where's the stock at? And it was, let's see, that was at like 7, military time. So it would have been 1930 something. It was like down here at 14 something, and then got down to like 12 something. And I was like, whoa, what the hell? It's like, I am in terrible shape on this stock. So then I seen this where it ran up to 20, and I came to get on my computer, my desktop, to look at the ticks, because you can change this to time frame to ticks. And I don't know what the time period is in a tick. I don't know if 2 ticks is like a second, 2 seconds, half a second, I don't know. But I know it shows every little tick of the day. Wow, this thing's going berserk. So this is at like 9 something. Well, this will also be shown today. Oof. Well, instead of doing that, I will pull up the video that I made last night, because I got on here, pulled up the ticks, and seen that at that tick, or within that minute, Jesus Christ, within this minute, above my order, like 700 shares were filled, and I only had a 100 share order, so it would have definitely been executed. But let me find the video. I should have been prepared for this. Boom. And I even called the video TOS EXT trading rant. Ha! Funny, ain't I? So I just had to get on and do a little rant. Oh, let's see. And I have even had an order down here that I placed way below what the bid ask was, just to prove that they don't get filled. Okay, boom, right here.
Maybe I need to click.
You can see right here.
You can
this
see
is the volume per.
Go to cancel. Extended.
Where am I?
And I have this order here just to prove that it's 200 above.
Trying to get at the beginning when I'm talking about the volumes per candle.
$20. The
right
first
here.
one, 240.
So 240 in that
could
one.
have been down below.
That one's above 375
over 20.
I'm gonna mute that. But anyways, you can see 375 shares above my order. And this one was 250 and the other one was 200. So, you know, enough shares to be filled. So I had to get on there and make a little rant video going over the whole spew because I was down crazy. And then this morning, like it just kept falling and there's no way to get out. So I couldn't get out until open bell, like in this candle, because it won't fill market orders in the first two candles. So either way, that was my rant, my spew about that. One trade today. That puts me up 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, $2,300 plus dollars. I'll do the math tomorrow and figure out exactly, but it's a little over $2,300 on the month. So anyways, we'll be back at it tomorrow. Hopefully make some money. Thanks for watching.